working with those rational powers in solving an equation, you can treat it the same way that you would any other power. You're looking to isolate your variable by undoing the powers. Okay, so if you're looking to undo this power of minus 3/2, what you're going to do is you're going to take both sides to the reciprocal power. So it's going to be to the negative 2/3 to the negative 2/3. And so when you take that to the reciprocal power, you're going to be left with just the x on the left, and then you do the same thing that we just did. And depending how you approach this, you could take the cube root of 64 as what? So 64 is a perfect cube, right? It's 4 cubed. So it's base 4 to the minus 2. The minus moves the 4 down to the denominator, and 4 squared is 16. And so you'd get your solution, again, with a pretty quick mental calculation. But what you have to do is you have to be able to work between rational powers and radicals. And because if you were doing the radicals on these, if you were kind of doing this step by step, the process would be to cube both sides to get rid of your cube root. So this is 49 cubed x squared. And now notice I didn't expand it out yet. But when I solve for my x here, we extract the square root. And what special thing has to happen when you extract a square root? You have to take into consideration what? Yeah, the plus or minus. So this is plus or minus the square root of 49 cubed. So you get plus or minus 7 cubed as your answer. And 7 cubed is 343. So plus or minus 343 is your solution. Okay. Now, if you are dealing with this, so if you were solving this just straightforward, and you take the reciprocal power, 3/2, okay, what you have to be sensitive about is when you take a reciprocal power and it's the even number is in the denominator, that is the extracting a root. And extracting an even indexed root requires you to consider both the positive and negative. Okay. So here you would have to be able to understand that because this was a cube root, or I'm sorry, a square root, that you have to take the plus or minus. So 7 cubed, again, gives you the same thing, 343. Okay, but be aware of that distinction. Next, when you're solving equations that have the same thing, rational powers, it's just a matter of entering the solve feature, which is located in this F2 algebra tab. Select solve, type your equation exactly as it appears. So x to the power of negative 3 over 2. Set that equal to 64, comma x again tells the calculator what you want it to solve for. And when you hit enter, you get your solution, in this case, 1 over 16. Okay, if you're using the TI-89s, you don't have to check for any extraneous solutions because it will not show you those.